Well, to spin off of then who should be writing the blog, who should control it? And this is a question that Doug and I had on a panel that we were on, so throw that back out. Who should be in charge of the blog?
Well, to start, I would say marketing for the most part. Is that your okay. Ultimately, it's a demand generation and a customer / more importantly than customer, a prospect relationship tool, right? Customer relationships happen a lot of different ways in organizations. Email, catalogs, telephone. I got a sales rep who comes and visits me. Lots of ways to have customer relationships. Prospect relationships belong to marketing, right? I don't know who you are. I've got these offerings. I've got this story to tell. I want to tell this story in such a wide way that lots of people find this story and then convert. And that belongs to marketing.
He's my boss. I can't.
Right. And I guess my only point would be, what I mean is the question was who should control it? Who owns the program? Who's responsible for the program? Not necessarily who should blog. But ultimately, within an organization, it belongs as a program, as a campaign or a strategy. It's part of an overall, to Rhoda's point, an overall marketing strategy. And doesn't mean marketers should blog. It just means that they own the program.
I think, and I'll throw another option out there too to everybody, and that's that some, and this is medium to large size companies that we're talking to, some companies actually incorporate a different approach, and that's they get a blogging committee together, where ultimately marketing is tied to the measurement and success of the program, but the committee kind of decides what the strategy and the voice of the company is going to be. And one of the advantages of that is it does kind of wind down that marketing voice a little bit and bring out some real voices. So they don't edit and chop up everybody's blog post, but they come out with a strategy of when are we going to blog, how often are we going to blog, what are we going to blog about, what events are coming up, how can we integrate that into our email marketing, into our website, how can we coordinate all of these mediums that we need to find people with and come to the right conclusion. And I think even at our company, that's kind of how it's done as well. That marketing really does kind of control the approval and disapproval of what goes out there on the web, but ultimately they don't sit over my shoulder and watch me blog.
So should IT own it?
No.
No.
Do you need a software as a service? But you also get to then what are you going to talk about, right? And another old author, I see several other gray hairs in the room. Maybe remember Tom Hopkins, right? Tom Hopkins wrote in 1972 a book called Master the Art of Selling. And he made a point that stuck with me my entire life is that the similar situation is the #1 selling tactic in the history of mankind, right? If Rhoda's trying to sell me a financial services product, who, like me, in my situation, has she solved the problem for? And if she can tell me a story about me, I'm more likely to buy, right? So when we think about who should blog and what should they talk about, we try and get as many customer-facing people within the organization as possible to blog. Because ultimately, what I want on my blogs are customer stories, right? Tell me success stories, tell me prospects, tell me situations, tell me vertical markets and profiles and things like that. Because when someone searches, they're trying to find a similar story. They're trying to find someone like them, right? Again, this Edelman study, if you haven't seen it, it's phenomenal. Richard Edelman every year does an annual trust barometer, it's called. And historically, he's asked the question, basically, who do you trust? And it's been, 100 years ago, it might have been the government and big business. Then it was medicine and academics and clergy, and the answers always fall around there. This year, for the first time in history, the answer came back, people like me, right? I trust people like me. Similar stories. So if you're opening up your organization to blogging, basically you want to tell the stories in a real human voice. Forget brand, forget evangelism. Just talk about what you're doing for customers and how you're solving their problems every single day. Profile those customers, and I'm much more likely to land on a post through research where someone's talking about someone like me and say, hey, these guys understand me, they get me, they've solved problems like mine before. Click, I'm moving on to the next step in the relationship.